Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Spoken Pronunciation. I'm so happy to see you here again. Your support means the world to me, and I'm excited to share this video with you today. We're going to talk about something that many English learners struggle with: how to speak without pausing too much. Whether you're having a conversation, giving a presentation, or just practicing, this is a problem that can make you feel less confident. This is a common issue, and I know how frustrating it can be when you can't find the right words or feel stuck in the middle of a sentence. Maybe you're talking to someone and suddenly your mind goes blank. Or perhaps you're trying to explain something, but the words just won't come out. I've been there, and I know how discouraging it can feel. If you've ever felt stuck while speaking, or if you keep stopping to find the right words, this video is for you. I'm going to share some simple and practical tips that will help you speak more fluently and confidently. Trust me, I've been there too, and I know how it feels. When I was learning English, I used to pause so much during conversations that I felt embarrassed. But over time, I found some techniques that really helped me, and I'm excited to share them with you today. By the end of this video, you'll have some simple tips and exercises to help you speak more smoothly and confidently. These are techniques that I've used myself, and they've made a huge difference in my fluency. I can't wait to share them with you. So, are you ready to improve your fluency? Let's get started. First, let's understand why we pause when speaking English. Pausing too much can make you feel less confident, but the good news is, it's a problem we can fix. There are a few common reasons why this happens, and once you understand them, you'll be able to work on solutions. Let's take a look. Number 1, lack of confidence. Many learners hesitate because they're afraid of making mistakes. I remember when I was learning English, I used to worry so much about saying something wrong that I would freeze mid-sentence. For example, I'd start a sentence like, "I want to," and then stop because I wasn't sure if want was the right word. This fear slows you down, and you keep second-guessing yourself, which makes it even harder to speak fluently. The truth is, everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. But when you're learning, it's easy to feel like every mistake is a big deal. The key is to remind yourself that mistakes are part of the learning process. Number 2, vocabulary gaps. Sometimes you don't know the exact word you need, so you stop and try to find it. For example, you might want to say something like refrigerator, but if you can't remember the word, you end up saying, the thing that keeps food cold. This makes your speech sound broken and less fluent. It's like your brain is searching for the right puzzle piece, but it's not there. The good news is, the more words and phrases you learn, the easier it becomes to find the right words quickly. Number 3, overthinking. A lot of learners try to translate sentences from their native language into English. For example, if your native language is Spanish, you might think, "¿Cómo estás?" and then try to translate it word for word into English. But English has a different structure, so this slows you down and makes your speech sound unnatural. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work smoothly. Instead of translating, we need to train our brains to think directly in English, and I'll show you how to do that later in the video. Number 4, nervousness. When you feel nervous, especially in conversations with native speakers, you might freeze and forget even the words you know. I remember talking to a native speaker once, and I was so nervous that I completely forgot how to say hello. It's a frustrating feeling, but it's something we can work on. Nervousness is natural, especially when you're speaking a new language. But with practice and the right mindset, you can overcome it. So, these are the main reasons why pauses happen. But don't worry, we're going to fix this. In the next section, I'll share some simple and practical tips to help you speak more fluently and confidently. Trust me, it's easier than you think. With a little practice and the right techniques, you'll be speaking smoothly in no time. Let's dive in. Now, let's talk about how to reduce pauses and speak more fluently. Here are some simple techniques that you can start using right away. Number 1, think in English. Instead of translating from your native language, try to think directly in English. For example, if you're walking outside, look around and describe what you see in simple English. Think, the sky is blue, the weather is nice, I see a dog running. This trains your brain to process thoughts in English naturally. At first, it might feel strange, but with practice, it will become a habit. You can start small, even just thinking, I'm hungry or it's cold today in English helps. The more you do this, the faster your brain will start thinking in English without needing to translate. Number 2, use filler words. Native speakers use filler words like, well, you know, or actually to keep the conversation flowing. Instead of pausing completely, you can say, well, I think, or, you know, it's a good idea. These words give your brain a second to think without creating awkward silence. For example, if someone asks you, what do you think about this movie? And you're not sure how to answer, you can say, well, I think it was interesting. It sounds natural and keeps the conversation going. Just don't overuse them. A few filler words here and there are perfect. Number 3, practice shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say immediately, like an echo. You can do this with podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. Just play a sentence, pause, and repeat it exactly the same way. For example, if you hear someone say, I went to the park yesterday, you pause and say, I went to the park yesterday. This forces you to speak quickly and smoothly without pausing. Over time, your brain will get used to the rhythm and flow of English, and you'll start speaking more naturally. It's like training your mouth and brain to work together. Number 4, don't aim for perfection. Many learners pause because they're afraid of making mistakes. But in real conversations, mistakes are okay. If you forget a word, try explaining it in a different way. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, the machine that keeps food cold. The goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. Native speakers don't expect you to speak flawlessly. They just want to understand you. So, don't let the fear of mistakes hold you back. Keep talking, even if you're not sure about every word. Fluency is about flow, not perfection. These techniques are simple, but they're incredibly powerful. Start with 1 or 2 that feel easiest for you and practice them every day. Before you know it, you'll notice a big difference in your fluency and confidence. Let's keep going. I've got even more tips to share with you. Now let's look at some exercises to help you speak more fluently. These are practical, fun, and easy to do, and they'll make a big difference in your speaking skills. Let's dive in. Number 1, 1-minute speaking challenge. This is one of my favorite exercises because it's simple but very effective. Pick a topic. It can be anything. And speak about it for 1 minute without stopping. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. For example, you can start with easy topics like my daily routine or my favorite food. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 1 minute and start speaking. Don't worry about grammar or perfect sentences. Just focus on keeping the words flowing. If you run out of ideas, repeat yourself or describe what you see around you. The goal is to train your brain to think and speak in English without pausing. At first, 1 minute might feel long, but with practice, it will become easier. You can even challenge yourself to speak for 2 or 3 minutes as you improve. Number 2, story retelling. This exercise is great for improving both fluency and vocabulary. Listen to a short story, a podcast, or even a scene from a movie, and then try to retell it in your own words. For example, if you listen to a story about a man who lost his keys, you can retell it like this. There was a man who couldn't find his keys. He looked everywhere, in his house, in his car, and even in the park. Finally, he found them in his pocket. This helps you practice forming complete sentences and recalling vocabulary. It also forces you to think in English because you're summarizing the story in your own way. You can start with simple stories and gradually move to more complex ones as you get better. Number 3, speed conversation practice. This exercise is perfect for improving your response time and reducing overthinking. Set a timer for 2 minutes and have a fast conversation with a friend, or even talk to yourself in the mirror. The goal is to respond quickly without pausing too much. For example, if you're talking to yourself, you can ask a question like, "What did you do yesterday?" and then answer it immediately. "I went to the park and I saw a lot of people playing games." If you're practicing with a friend, take turns asking and answering questions quickly. This exercise trains your brain to think and speak faster, which is essential for real-life conversations. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just focus on keeping the conversation flowing. Number 4, use speech-to-text apps. This is a fun and modern way to practice your speaking skills. Speak into your phone using a speech-to-text app, like Google Voice Typing or any other app, and see how much it gets transcribed correctly. For example, say a sentence like, "I love learning English because it helps me communicate with people from different countries," and check if the app writes it correctly. If the app misunderstands you, it might mean you need to work on your pronunciation or clarity. This exercise is great because it gives you instant feedback. Plus, it's like having a conversation with your phone. You can practice reading aloud from a book, describing your day, or even telling a story. The more you practice, the better your fluency and pronunciation will become. These exercises are designed to be simple and effective. You don't need any special tools or materials, just your voice and a little bit of time. Start with the exercise that feels easiest for you and practice it regularly. Over time, you'll notice that your pauses become shorter, your speech becomes smoother, and your confidence grows. Remember, fluency is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. So pick an exercise and start today. You've got this. Finally, let's talk about mindset. Fluency isn't just about techniques and exercises, it's also about how you think. Your mindset plays a huge role in how quickly you improve and how confident you feel when speaking English. Here are some mindset shifts that will help you speak more fluently and confidently. Number 1, mistakes are part of learning. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every mistake helps you improve. Think about it this way. When you were a child learning your native language, did you speak perfectly from the start? Of course not. You made mistakes, and that's how you learned. The same applies to learning English. For example, if you say, "I go to the park yesterday," instead of, I went to the park yesterday. It's okay. The person you're talking to will still understand you, and now you know to use the past tense next time. Mistakes are like stepping stones. They guide you toward improvement. So instead of fearing mistakes, embrace them as part of your learning journey. Number 2, focus on communication, not perfection. The goal of speaking English is to express your ideas, not to sound like a textbook. Many learners get stuck because they're trying to make every sentence perfect. But in real-life conversations, people care more about understanding you than about your grammar or vocabulary. For example, if you're telling a friend about your weekend, it's okay to say, "I go to park and I see many people. It was fun." Even though it's not perfect, your friend will understand and enjoy the conversation. Remember, fluency is about connecting with others, not about being flawless. So, focus on getting your message across, and don't worry about small mistakes. Number 3, speak with confidence. Even if you're not 100% sure, speak with energy and a smile. People will focus on what you're saying, not your small mistakes. Confidence can make a huge difference in how others perceive your English. For example, if you say, I think it's good with a hesitant tone, people might think you're unsure. But if you say, I think it's good, with a confident tone and a smile, they'll focus on your message and feel your enthusiasm. Confidence doesn't mean you know everything. It means you're willing to try and learn. So, stand tall, speak clearly, and don't let fear hold you back. The more confident you sound, the more confident you'll feel. These mindset shifts are just as important as the techniques and exercises we've talked about. They help you overcome fear, build confidence, and enjoy the process of learning English. Remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being able to express yourself and connect with others. So, embrace your mistake, focus on communication, and speak with confidence. You're doing amazing. And with the right mindset, you'll keep getting better every day. Keep going, you've got this. So, there you have it. Simple tips and exercises to help you speak English without pausing too much. We've covered a lot in this video, from understanding why pauses happen to practical techniques like thinking in English, using filler words, practicing shadowing, and not aiming for perfection. We also talked about fun exercises like the 1-minute speaking challenge, story retelling, speed conversations, and using speech-to-text apps. And finally, we discussed the importance of mindset, embracing mistakes, focusing on communication, and speaking with confidence. These strategies are designed to help you speak more smoothly, confidently, and fluently. Remember, fluency takes practice. You don't have to try everything at once. Just pick one technique or exercise that feels easiest for you and start today. For example, if you're a beginner, you might start with the 1-minute speaking challenge using simple topics like my favorite food or my daily routine. If you're more advanced, you might try shadowing with a podcast or practicing speed conversations with a friend. The key is to be consistent. Even 10-15 minutes of practice every day can make a big difference over time. Fluency is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on learning English. Liking the video helps others find it, and sharing it with friends or on social media can help someone else who's struggling with the same challenges. Subscribing to the channel means you'll never miss new videos that can help you improve your English even further. I'm here to support you on your language learning journey, and I'd love to have you as part of this community. And let me know in the comments, what's your biggest challenge when speaking English? Is it finding the right words, feeling nervous, or something else? I'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps me create videos that address your specific needs. So don't be shy. Drop a comment below. Let's learn and grow together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, every small step you take brings you closer to goal. You've got this.